Public speaker I have is JoshNass.
Good evening. It sounds like there might be a change into the organization of the agenda today, so I'll make it quick. I, too, agree with Gail that we should move 8C before A and B, and that we should keep 8A and 8B as separate votes so that we all have adequate time to discuss them and treat them as separate issues. So thank you very much.
Thank you. JoshNass. Josh?
Things changed a little bit, but
That's fine.
Okay, I was here a few months ago, and in the last meeting I saw three major cost centers, CCPA, Magnolia Plant, and Water Municipality, that all had TBDs next to potential budget savings. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate hearing today that those analysis is going to happen. That means a lot. But the question I have to ask is, how is it that duly elected representatives of the people can be urging for a vote on taxes when we don't have all the information? It would seem through all the surveys that I've seen that the will of the people is not in support of this tax, particularly if things like these TBDs remain open or continuing to hit the budget. We're all watching to see how council votes on this budget. Are they going to show they are representing the constituents, or are they in office to push their own agenda? Proposing to close libraries for dozens or for citizens on the weekend, a $200K savings, while CCPA is allowed to continue hemorrhaging $2 million in losses or more, is not representing the people. Passing an unwanted sales tax while approving an unwanted museum is not representing the people. I understand that we lost the redevelopment monies. That doesn't mean the first thing we do to find replacement for those funds is through taxation. It means that we should consider removing the services that the people have obviously communicated they do not want. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker I have is JoshNass. Josh?
Hello again. I have a bit of a clarification question. I didn't know if that's what you saw voted on. Was the museum the entire museum that was voted on, or just one children's area within the museum? That was a misunderstanding that I got when I heard the vote.
The vote was for the entire museum.
The entire museum. Okay, thank you. So again, I'm coming up, and I kind of spoke about this earlier, and I apologize to hit this again. That since we have two of the three major cost areas still marked TBD, I'd request that we postpone voting on a vote like this. If we can close the deficit, then there's not necessarily a reason to go out for another tax. I understand that we're sitting on a reserve of over $50 million, and if we can close the deficit, then we're going to be much better off for future years. I saw the numbers, $15 million. I thought it was less than that. The deficit is $6 million around there, right? Is that the correct number around there? So right. That $15 million, why is that not budget items that would be a part of that year's budget that we would need to work on? I don't know where that number's coming from exactly. It's the first time I saw it.
15 million is the new revenue.
That's a new revenue?
No, the $15 million to make up for losses and for future maintenance.
Go back.
It was a couple slides back.
Go back.
That is the future income from the sale tax.
If it was 1%,
Yeah.
it would be $15 million.
No, that one. To address maintenance and begin to restore revenues will require $15 million in additional revenue. So we've got a deficit, right? A deficit
that
$6 million
is not even in any of our budgets. That's what it would take. That's what it would take to fix the trees and the sidewalks and all the stuff that's been
but
done.
all of that should be a part of a budget, right? That should be the deficit that we're not meeting.
We don't have it in the budget. It's not in the budget right now. It would go in. It wouldn't be in any budget unless we could find new money or cut someplace else.
Well, the cost is the cost, right?
Yeah.
The cost is the cost. The maintenance is the maintenance. It's not a question of we got to make the money before we can fix the roads, right? So if that's not a part of the budget, it needs to get into the budget. So that would be my second request. If there's any holes that we're not accounting for that's a part of this deficit, let's get it all on the table so we understand what we're really dealing with here, right? Because this is the first time I'm seeing something like that. Okay, so I appreciate that the big cost centers, two are marked TBD. Let's make sure we figure out what that actually is, maybe before we go to the step of having a tax. And then if there are other items that aren't currently on the budget, then I think we need to address those. as well.
Not in the current budget.
Anyway, thank you for making the tough decisions here today. I know a lot of them are more than I expected. Mayor Ray, you said no sacred cows, and that's what I saw. So thank you.
Thank you. I have a card for George